Blockchain technology appeared as a direct consequence of the abuse that centralized entities can inflict upon individuals. Blockchains represent the attempt of the people at making constructive criticism against governments and centralized monopolies. This is the spirit of blockchain tech. And in this spirit, we make the following proposal. In order to create a platform for decentralized governance that is better than what governments have, we need to rethink from basic principles how laws are created, starting with the Constitution. The state-of-the-art decentralized blockchain now needs to have some form of governance. Otherwise, it is just another centralized business model masquerading as decentralized in order to draw funds on their platform. Because blockchains have governance for internal or protocol purposes, you have the extraordinary benefit that you can dogfood your own governance framework. You can build a general governance framework worthy of use by any community while you evolve your own chain. This is why governance needs to be taken seriously, and it needs to be built from basic building blocks. Don't bring outdated, inefficient, and bloated patterns that mimic what exists already. This explanation and proposal is also dedicated to the Evmos blockchain, which is in the process of adopting a constitution. We want to do our duty for a society that will be shaped by this blockchain tech. So we are ready to help the Evmos community implement the following standards for the Evmos constitution. A blockchain constitution must have a formal base, like in science. Like in mathematics, the formal base must cover all cases. Like in physics, the formal base must offer a causal dependency. You should not be able to make an amendment that cannot be logically drawn from previous accepted statements. Like in chemistry, the formal base offers all ingredients for future combinations. The Constitution shows the building blocks and limitations for the higher level governance framework. Like in biology, the formal base allows for evolution, upgrade, and adaptation. Like in geography, the formal base builds a map of the territory. So what are the building blocks? A constitution establishes the basic rules for further governance. The basic rules of the constitution itself must be based on clearly defined naming and versioning conventions, along with precedence rules. These set the basis for causality. Naming and versioning has a mutual two-way dependency on precedence rules, and it is also based on language limitations and the existing governance infrastructure. Language limitations are defined by having consensus on words and concepts, and the grammar and syntax tree used. Each of these building blocks has been proposed on the Evmos Commonwealth as a separate proposal. Consensus on words and concepts. Grammar and syntax tree, both of which compose the language limitations. Existing governance infrastructure as limitation for enforceable basic rules, which are naming and versioning and precedence rules. These are under the basic rules proposal, which can be voted off-chain. A trustworthy constitution must give respect to the building blocks used to create it, and because it gives respect, it is worthy of respect. It must recognize priors, which are language, features and limitations, computing environment, and causal laws. Then, all future governance proposals get a solid base when they recognize the Constitution as basis. So, the Constitution needs to recognize the basic rules as prior, and any governance proposal that amends the Constitution can only be done within these basic rules. For example, clarifying the definition of words or clarifying syntax or keeping the Constitution in sync with the Cosmos SDK and the core protocol. And any governance proposal that does not amend the Constitution needs to recognize the Constitution as prior in the proposal text and abide by the rules defined in the Constitution. Otherwise, it is unconstitutional. So what can you do? If you own Evmos, you are a member of the Evmos community and you should be interested in the Evmos Constitution. Vote so our work of formalizing the basis of Evmos Constitution continues. Provide constructive feedback on fundamentals. Pass the basic rules package of proposals before the Constitution proposal. And if you make proposals to the Evmos community, base them upon the Evmos Constitution. You can find links to all presented material in the video description. Let's evolve together the basic building block of civilization, the Constitution.